Hey, everybody, welcome to this live stream session for the summit. We're going to recap the top 10 lessons from Tennis Summit 2022. And of course, I have none other than my great friend Peter Freeman from Crunch Time Coaching with us to be on this session. So, Peter, how are you doing? And thanks so much for coming on.
Well, every time I get to go live with you, Mehrban, is a special time for me. I look forward to it all day, and it's the highlight of my day. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing that this is the highlight. I think it's a good thing. I actually had a lesson today. This lady gave me this hat from Chile, and she has been watching
Wow.
the live stream. I mean, not the live. Well, she watched some of our live streams, but I mean, she's been
Mm,
watching the tennis summit, and she says that she has
nice.
learned so much and she loves it. And look, even the tennis hoss who knows so much about tennis says he learns so
Yeah.
much.
Love it, love it. How's it going, Devore? Nice to see you there. Well, I love to hear that. I'm really glad about that. And so we've got, yeah, Patrick. Hello. Oh, nice. My favorite sessions were Brady Heights, the slice backhand, Ryan Reedy, which is the one-ended backhand. Yep, and the two Emma's quick technical tips. Yes, love that. Love that. You forgot to write Peter's session as well, but
Yeah, you kind of
we'll
hurt
give
my
you.
feelings.
Yeah. But no, thanks, Patrick. Great feedback. And again, Devore from Tennis House, which you should all check out as well. He does wonderful stuff, very passionate individual in tennis. And check out his session. Well, if you have the All Access Pass, we'll talk about that later, but great session that Devore did on lobs. Tracy, hi from Minnesota. Hello again. Great to see you. Devore again, Tennis House. Great to see both of you, two amazing coaches here. Thank you very much. I think you two are the amazing coaches. Just a conduit here. But yeah, it's great to see you all. Yeah, I really appreciate you all your great emails and messages about the summit. It's always very pleasing to me and keeps me going. Because it's obviously, as Peter knows, with his event, TennisCon, it's like a lot of hard work and everything. But really enjoy your feedback. Let's see. You've got Jack. Hi, love the fitness sessions. Really cool stuff. Love it. Yeah, we had a tennis fitness workout earlier with Dean Hollingworth. So
Oh,
that
he's
was
awesome.
good. Yeah, he's
Very
fantastic.
good.
Yeah, so you can still check that out actually.
Oh,
Um, yeah, still it posted today. Neil from Boston, great to see you. The fitness sessions alone were worth it. Love to hear that, Neil. Really great feedback. So yeah, like I said, today we're going to talk about the top 10 lessons from the summit. And, it's a lot of information, which is, partially why we suggest you get the all access pass and so you can refer to it anytime you want. And as Neil said, it's a great value, of course. And we've got Peter's link below this video, and I'll also put it in the chat later on, and we'll talk about his great bonuses that he's offering as well if you go through his link. But yeah, any thoughts that you want to mention, Peter, before we kick it off with the first lesson of the summit?
well, I think the toughest thing is to narrow it down to 10 because every single coach that does a session is a true expert and leader in the field that they're presenting on. And, if you love tennis, when you really think about it, there's just so many parts of the game that you got to master to put together points day in and day out so that you are getting better and, getting the results you want. So, I'm looking forward to the top 10 list that you came up with. And I also, again, want to congratulate you to pretty much making it through another one because I know at this point, because I do Tennis Con, which is very similar to
Yeah.
Tennis Summit, right now Mehrban is running on fumes. Okay. He's done countless live sessions. He's put all this together. He's communicated with the customers, with the coaches. I mean, it's handling customer service. It's a lot. So everybody give him a virtual clap. It's another amazing year, and I know that he'll be back again next year, which is super exciting.
Yes, I definitely will be back. Really appreciate that. So yeah, thanks so much with that. And yeah, I guess to kick it off, I want to bring up the first point, which I found just super helpful. So, and it's aim for the top of the net, doubles in the doubles return, especially. And so we had on Brent Abel to talk about the doubles return. It was a great session. He brought up a clip, and then he brought up a document that he put together. And I just found this to be like one of those tips where you can implement it instantly. Because, I did a live stream with him. I think it was maybe Wednesday or Thursday. You're right. I am forgetting what's going on here. But then on Friday, I was finally able to go and play tennis again for a bit. And then I thought about that tip, and it was so helpful because, previously either I would not have a target that I even like think of like when I was returning. And then as I improved and realized, setting the power of setting a target, I would tell myself, okay, aim at this area like when I'm trying to return. But then Brent's concept of aiming for the top of the net, it just made a lot of sense to me in terms of like having a closer target for yourself and like a like easier target to aim for. And it seemed like when I thought about that tip and I used it, like I never missed the return, and I was putting the opponent in a lot of difficult situations. It was really a brilliant tip that I had never heard about personally. So again, it's like if I'm returning Peter's serve, we're playing doubles, I would just pick a spot over in the net, maybe a little bit to the left of the center of the net, like if I'm returning on the deuce side. And that in itself just helped me be really consistent and place my returns really well. So something unique that I haven't seen before or heard before. So, but maybe Pete, you've heard of that. But do you have any thoughts on that one?
Well, actually, I did that a couple weeks ago where I was playing the match. I was playing this doubles match against some of our high performance juniors, and I was trying to be aggressive, and I hit one long, and the ball kind of got away from me. And then I'm like, the next time, like, okay, like actually aim for the top of the net. I mean, and I did that, and I hit a screaming winner right through both of the net person and the serve and volley person. It was the best return I had the whole match. And so that tip makes a lot of sense, guys. You're like, aim for the top of the net. That's like he's almost telling us like miss a return in the net. But especially when you're playing a good server or somebody with a kick, lots of times it's hard to get the ball to go down. You tend to be hitting the ball too high and they spray. So if you're having that problem, aiming for the top of the net kind of helps get the ball down somewhat, but probably isn't going to go down as much as you think it would by aiming for the top of the net. You'll get a lower return, which again, doubles is a different game than singles. So especially if you're playing people having more traditional doubles skills like Brent Abel pretty much does. He plays a lot of senior doubles, and a lot of people still like to serve and volley and things like that. So, a deep high return is actually not always a good return. That's going to let people poach on him and his partner. It's going to give a high volley for the person serving volleying. So when you're playing that traditional format of serve and volley tennis, which there's still a lot of great recreational players doing that, you don't want a high return lots of times and a deep return. That's going to be right above their chest. You're going to get clocked. So you want that low return at the feet, at the knees. And so by aiming for the net strap, that will make that work for you.
Yeah, 100%. Love that advice there as well. So thanks a lot, Peter. And then got some more comments. Of course, we've got Robert. Love the stringing filibuster session. I love that word of filibuster because the the live stream session we did with my friend Richard Grunewald from Genesis / Signum Pro was over 2 hours on Saturday. So that was definitely one where at the end I was starving and tired, but it was really fun and great information as well. So Richard's very passionate. Julian, hi all. Hi to you.
I know her.
Tom again.
I know Tom, of course. Cool. He's
yes.
Tom. Are you saying hello or are you high in one?
Oh man, are we gonna get canceled on YouTube for this? No, I love that. It's funny. Well, hi to you, HI. Let's see. Jay, look, how are you, Jay? The medical lessons were the most informative sessions for me this year. I wonder if you meant mental or was it like the fitness ones, Jay? Look, but I'm glad you liked it. Patterns and targets were very cool too. Yeah, definitely, and very interesting equipment session. Excellent. Glad you like that. So, all right, Pete. Let's see. Tom, remember most attorneys get paid by the hour. Paid and pain. That's right. Good stuff. All right, Pete. So should we go to number 2 then?
Yes.
All right, mate. Number 2, your goal is to make your opponent hit an uncomfortable shot. This is a great mindset that you want to put yourself in. I mean, obviously, you want to get into position and try to, make yourself hit comfortable shots. But I mean, if you think about it, like what you want to win, right? And then how do you do that? Is that you put your opponent in uncomfortable situations. Maybe they have an extreme grip, and then you got to think, okay, like they're not good at hitting low balls, so I'm going to hit them like low slices, or maybe their weak point is their net game, whatever it is, or maybe it's high balls. But if you go through this approach of like each time that I hit a shot, I'm going to make my opponent hit an uncomfortable shot, and then think about like how can I do this, that's definitely going to level up your winning percentage. So I mean, I not too much more to say. I've had quite a few of the coaches, especially on the strategy session days, this past Wednesday and Thursday, talk about this concept. So super important one. And anything else to add on that, Peter?
Well, who said this? What coach? Or is this kind of a general thing that a lot of coaches are saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember who it was, if it was Louis or if it was Mark, but yeah, it was some of the coaches on the strategy day session.
Because it definitely reminds me also, whether he said it on this one or another one. I mean, this is right from the Jorge Capistani kind of playbook, to where he says most people, the shot that feels most satisfying for us is to hit right through the ball and to hit it firm contact, not too high over the net, and to hit it deep. And we think, man, am I playing great? But that is going to land and bounce most of the time into strike zone 3 for your opponent. And strike zone 3 is the most comfortable strike zone. That's basically at our waist is strike zone 3. And so, especially if you're playing somebody, if you're better than them at hitting the ball solid and you have a little more pace, well, you'll probably win. You'll probably get away with that, even though you're giving them a comfortable ball. But if you're just a better player, you're going to win anyway. But let's say you hit a great shot, but they're better than you, then you're probably not going to win. How do you go to that next level when you actually have to figure out what your opponent's weaknesses are? Then you just can't think about, what we think about as great shot making. Then we have to think about, again, strategic shot making, which is getting the ball high in strike zone 4, or getting the ball low in strike zone 1, and maybe mixing it up and mixing up depths. In general, hitting the ball deep is a very, very good way to go. But if you just get stuck in the same shot over and over again, and your opponent gets used to that, and they have just as much skill or a little more skill than you, you're going to lose. The way you can pull off upsets and beat people that maybe on paper or aesthetically you don't look as good at, how does that happen? Those people usually figure out what you don't like. And all you have to do, and this is another one from Jorge Capistani, I didn't come up with this, is all you have to do is find one thing that you do better than them, and you have a chance to win. And that's crazy. I don't know how many sports you can do that in, but in tennis, and Jorge talked about this, your opponent might be able to do 3, 4, 5 things better than you. But if you can find one thing, you can find their Achilles heel, so to speak, and just pick on that, you can beat them, which is kind of a crazy thing. We've all been, I think we probably don't remember and value the matches we win figuring that out, but we know the matches we lose, we're like, man, I did this better, I did that better, I did this, and how did I walk off the court and lose that match? Because they found that one thing on you. That's how.
Yeah, beautiful. Well put there. Appreciate that, Pete. And we got a ton of, a lot of comments coming in here. Let's see. Tom, remember most? Oh yeah, we got that one. Oh, another one. Oh boy, marijuana.
Tom's going crazy tonight.
John, our dear friend John, how are you doing? John Craig from Performance Plus Tennis. Hey, Mehrban and Pete. Yeah, John. Great sessions from John, actually. He should be one of these top 10. He actually did a serve analysis or analysis of my serve, which has been very illuminating. Really appreciate that one. And yeah, that was fantastic. Actually, I'll mention him again fairly soon. And then we did a live session as well, and we analyzed technique of I think it might have been 5 different players. So that was really fun. So that's another reason why you want to get the all access pass so you can check out those sessions. I really enjoyed you, John, breaking down my serve, because we've got players like maybe near my level and whatnot, and what so that's a great way for us to see not just a breakdown of the pro serves, but a breakdown of somebody who's playing at the club level and whatnot. So thank you, John. Jamie, hey everyone, hello Jamie, good to see you again. She plays a lot of tennis, by the way. A lot.
Can I just point out how awesome this is? Because we're seeing names now, and I know you feel the same way. These are all names that, I know. I feel like I know you guys now. I mean, I see you guys, and I want to thank you. You keep coming back to these live streams for Mehrban's live streams, some of my live streams, and you support his products, you support my products. And, I want you to know that we recognize y'all, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I mean, definitely, I've come to really enjoy just seeing you come over, attend over and over again, and get to know you better, and like through your comments and everything. So it's really cool. So yeah, Jamie, I think plays 4 to 6 times a week, if I remember right. So that's very impressive. Let's see, Patrick, miss seeing and talking with you at the Mouty this year, Devore. Cool. So I think Devore will know about that. That's all. Oh yeah. So tennis, Devore. Hey Patrick, next year. Awesome. Tracy, I was going to say Jorge. Yeah, that's correct. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Jorge said that as well for my tip. Patrick, looking forward to it. Patrick, fantastic sessions this year. It's got to be difficult to pick the top 10. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. I mean, not just there's so many, and yeah, like so much great advice. And that's why with getting the all access pass, or like just watching the sessions, like you've got to really narrow down like what is it in your game that needs the biggest improvement, and then go to those sessions and implement it. That's the best way to do it. Otherwise you'll be overwhelmed with a lot of information. Bruce, Jorge did say serve objective is to make opponent return poorly. Okay, Bruce, see, great memory, excellent. Tracy, yes, 2 goals, continually add new tactics to your game, and number 2, make your opponent make bad shots or comfortable shots. His example of Rafa versus Fed, excellent. John, doing great, glad to hear it. John, what? I'm not, haha. Patrick, Jorge's session you're referring to was quite insightful. Yes, Jorge always does a great job. Tom, Shinrin Yoku, forest bathing, good for lots of things. Yes, Emma Green's tennis elbow session, I think it was. Yeah, that was a great one. Then John, great community of passionate tennis players for sure. Artie, excellent presentation, great stuff as always. Appreciate it, all the best. Thank you, Artie. Cool. So shall we go to the third one?
Yes, sir.
Peter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I approve. I approve.
Oh, thank you. Like your hat, by the way. All right. Let's see. So number 3 is time your poach and the double fake. So this was a great session with Ian Westerman from Essential Tennis, who's actually coming in town tomorrow. So he'll be shooting some stuff, which will be a lot of fun. But he talked about like the exact way to time your poach, and basically it comes down to splitting, right before the opponent is going to hit the ball. And then, the interesting thing is that you'll be in the air, as the opponent is taking the swing, and then you want to start your movement, as they have the forward part of their swing. So hopefully I got that correctly, but I remember him saying like you make your move as the forward swing happens. So I thought that was just a really good way, because he had shown footage from a camp, a VIP camp that he did like a few weeks ago, I guess, was it, or at Indian Wells anyway. And a lot of the players, most of them, they weren't getting the timing correctly. They weren't splitting at the right time, moving at the right time. So I just found that to be a great point there about the timing of the poach. And then also, one thing that I haven't used, I thought that I was so advanced, using my Australian I formation, poaching, fake poaching, but he also mentioned and showed the double fake, which is basically, like you move early and then you fake. So you fake really early and you go back, but then you actually poach. So like one of my favorite plays was the fake where like you sell that you're gonna poach early and then you go back. But this one was like, you know, you fake, you go back, but then you actually go. So I mean, there's many different levels to that type of thing where your movement at the net and the plays you can do is going to really enhance your doubles. And then also, Ian, I asked Ian, like, what level should you be at in order to implement the I formation, the Australian, and these formations? And he actually, he surprised me because I thought that he might have said, oh, 4-5 or 4-0 or whatever, but he said that he teaches these plays, these doubles plays at his 3-0 and up levels. So I thought that was very interesting. And like, if you learn these plays at those levels, you're going to have such a big level up and you're going to cause a lot of chaos and unforced errors just right off the bat. And he also said, a lot of players, they're afraid of being seen poaching, but he actually said you want to take the mentality that that you even want them to see you poach, because then you can, first off, it'll mess, like by the time, if you time it right, when they see you poach, they're already committed to their shot. And it's like extremely difficult at this point to change it. And so that'll just cause them more, not mental issues, but, like issues with what they're going to do with their return. So it's just a great overall lesson there from Ian. And any follow-up thoughts on that, Pete?
A lot of follow-up thoughts on that.
Nice.
First of all, Ian, I would say his strength is when you watch him play, he's got a lot of great double skills. He really is good at the net. He's quick at the net. He's a very good poacher. Brent Abel is also a very good poacher. I got to play some doubles with him in Palm Springs during Indian Wells, and he actually did the double fake. He was 70 plus years old at the time, and he did a double fake. And so it goes to show, and he's in great shape, and he's pretty fast for his age, but I mean, obviously he's not as fast as he used to be, but it's all about the timing. I just, when I played with him and against him in Palm Springs, I just kept marveling at how Brent was so good at timing everything that he knew exactly how to move, when to fake, when to double fake, when to poach. I mean, it was just uncanny. I was like, this guy really has perfected the timing of recreational doubles at the net. And so, if you keep working on it, and I think the biggest thing, especially in the beginning, practice these in your practice matches, because there's no question it takes trial and error. It takes getting burned a couple times. And even when you get really good at it, getting burned is part of the game. I remember going to a finals of an ATP event in San Jose, California, when they used to have a professional tournament out there. And in the finals, for the first 3 or 4 games, it was a game of chicken. Both teams were lighting each other up down the line, but no team budged. No team started to play more conservative. They knew that who could ever just hold on the most and maybe make that person start missing some returns down the line, and then the other team could dominate the middle, was going to win the match. So they just kept both teams just kept getting lit up down the line. Then finally, there was some missed returns by one of the teams, and then the other team just kept poaching the middle, and that was the team that won.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, that's a big example right there. Excellent. Let's see. We've got some more comments here. Jack, my USTA team could have used this tip today. There you go. Glad you're playing USTA. It's a lot of fun. And I guess in Atlanta, you've got those Alta leagues we were talking about earlier. Those are huge. Yeah. Jack, let us know what section you play in. Dario, great sessions. How do I get info about when TennisCon takes place?
How do you do that? I don't know. I don't. It's in October. It's in October, and we look so forward to it. And I'm sure when TennisCon comes, as long as you're on somebody's email list, you will know about it. So it basically starts later in the year in October. It's a great event. But this is all about the Tennis Summit right now. So let's continue on with that.
Yes. Thank you. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just editing this one as we go, actually, with the banners. But oh wait, actually, I think we have more comments. Yeah. Jay, look, you are only as good as your body is. Very important task to accomplish staying healthy. Yes. And then Jamie, yes, I do indeed play 46 days per week. Excellent. My memory is working. Marjorie Hoffman, I used Brent's tip for returning serve yesterday and it worked well on the do side. I need to work on accuracy on the ad side. All right. All right, cool. Joe, if serve returner looks down at the ball as it bounces in the service box, how does this time up with your poaching move? Any thoughts on that, Pete?
I think, yeah, I mean, as they're looking down at the ball, that's obviously that's one of the cues that you can start to go. But I think Ian is right. Once you really want to look for the body movement of like good returners will catch the ball on their hip and they'll start to push their hip and their hand forward. And that's when you want to go. Because if you go too early, then you can leave yourself out to dry. And even if you go too early and get past, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You're still in their head because they still see that you're willing to go. Okay. And that might even throw it off. So don't worry about going too early sometimes, but you definitely don't want to go too early as a habit. And that's basically the biggest struggle that poachers at a recreational level have. They either go too early and then the person is easily passing them down the line, or they go too late and they can never catch up with the ball. I think the perfect timing is just before they're about to hit. They're committing their hip into the ball. You see that initial movement in, boom, that's when you head like a dart for the net strap.
Yes, yes, yes. Excellent stuff. Patrick, loved Ian's presentation. I'm glad to hear that, Patrick. Elaine, I enjoyed so many other sessions and still watching some. I teach all ages and coach girls high school, so it not only helps me as a player, but as an instructor coach. Love to hear that, Elaine. I need to save that comment. That was a great one. Let's see here. So let's go to number 4. What do you think? All right. Cool. We're busting through this. This is great. Number 4. So John Craig. So John was just on. Maybe he's still on from Performance Plus Tennis. And as I mentioned, he did an analysis of my serve. It's very interesting to me. And I chatted with John as well, on the phone about it. But we all are taught to keep our tossing arm up like as long as possible. I remember that tip. There's validity to it. But also he showed me that I had my tossing arm up, I guess, too long so that it was interfering with the hitting arm. I don't know if you could probably see that, but you can imagine. So I thought that was really insightful because, again, it's always been ingrained to me to keep my tossing arm up as long as possible. But if you look at the the video analysis of the great servers, and John put this in the presentation, at some point they're actually bringing their tossing arm forward and then down and tucking it, under their body. And so you just kind of want to pay attention, about this to see if you're having this issue. I mean, videotape yourself and I guess more of this generally speaking, I definitely want you all to check out John's presentation if you have the All Access Pass, because that is just a really good breakdown of, club level serve. And that's a stroke that I definitely admit, like, it's something that it doesn't hurt me at all, it's a decent serve, but I'm still leaving a lot of miles per hour off the table because of, certain leaks that I can be improving upon. So I just really enjoy that analysis from John. And again, tape yourself, see if you see that issue and others, like sufficient loading of the back leg and, the angles of your feet and all that. So yeah, definitely a really good tip. So again, Peter, this is something that was not quite in line with what I remember being taught earlier. So any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think that really this particular tip is all about the importance of filming yourself and maybe
Yeah.
get some expert like John to look at your specific thing, because there's certain tips that are great tips, but it doesn't mean that applies to you always. You might be
Yeah.
doing something like the opposite or the extreme. So, I mean, in general, I would say, I wouldn't say most people watch this goes, oh, I have to remember to drop my arm, because
Yeah.
most people don't ever even get their arm to the position that you really want to get to that the pros do. I mean, most recreational players are here and then crashing. So I would say for without seeing you guys, just a general comment, 90% of you are not dropping your arm, too late or holding up your arm too long. You're probably falling too soon. So, but that's the importance of videoing yourself. And that was what was
Yeah.
great about John and Mehrban taking a look at his individual serve and going, let's take a look at the general tips that are there. And then let's see, what you're checking off in the checkbox and the positives and where we can improve it. So that's super important.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm actually going to change this to pay attention to how you use your tossing arm, because I don't want to. You're right. I don't. I guess this was more of like oh, this helped me a lot, but obviously there's a lot of players who are they're not tossing their arm or not putting their arm all the way up even, and then their posture is horrible. So I would just say to amend that, pay attention to how you use your tossing arm. So that is definitely important. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Elaine, also, I don't remember if it was Rick Macy or Jorge who talked about how you sometimes need to stop playing your game and change your play according to how your opponent is playing. Yeah, I'm trying to remember that as well. I think it might have been Jorge. I feel like Jorge is like he's giving us a lot of tips today, but that might have been him. Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah.
something he'd say. He's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Rick was talking about how to it was more of the mental side, if I remember right. Let's see, Neil. Any idea when the VIP sessions will be held this coming week? Yeah, great question, Neil. So I'll send out more information about that to you for sure. But if you did get the Summit VIP week, which is going to be awesome, they are starting Thursday. So we do have, and I'm checking my calendar real quick, but we have Rick on Thursday at 2:00 Eastern, and then we're gonna have Will later in that day.
You got Rick to come on and do an encore.
Yeah, I did.
That is, guys, that is huge. I'm telling you right now, that is a big deal. Okay.
Yeah,
And unless you've been sleeping under a rock, I mean, he's had a huge year being part of King Richard and the Williams sisters. And I mean, and so
yeah,
he's been so busy and being pulled in all kinds of directions, and that he's going to come back and do an encore performance and answer your questions. You guys should feel honored because his time is very, very thin.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to get Rick, a couple times in the span of a month or whatever it is. So super cool. So yeah, the Summit VIP. If you haven't gotten that yet, I would definitely highly encourage it, and I'll send some information about that. Soon, probably tomorrow or Tuesday or whatnot, on how you can get in that. But we do have a lot of people already did get into it. So let's see here. So Neil, yeah, I'll send you an update. Jamie, I've done the OTI serve courses. All right, including the kick serve session this summit with Greg Lesueur, who is a fantastic coach. And they talked about the action reaction of when to bring the tossing arm down. Nice. So have any thoughts on that one, Peter?
I again have the thought of, and I'd like you to put Stephen Hunter's thing up. That's pretty cool. I really have the thought of, in general, you see, he said you did an analysis of my serve, and that's the key. Is, in general, I mean, most people, if I'm just going off percentages, I like to tell people, don't ever think about dropping your arm, because most of people drop too soon. They don't get up high enough. But again, it goes individually. Everybody has their own individual good and bad habits. Good habits that we want to keep accentuating and getting better, and bad habits that we need to snuff out, do a lot of micro progression drills. And that's really how you're going to get better, guys, is taking these very important tips that apply to most and figure out which ones apply to you. And the best way to do it is to really go through all the Summit videos and have an honest evaluation with yourself, whether it's like fitness and you're going through the fitness routines, and, be honest with yourself and go, man, I don't do any of this. So I need to start doing, I'm going to pick this one routine that I saw Dean do or something like that. Or, I do a lot of this, but I don't do that, and I have like a week back. Or if you watch a thing on strategy or a thing on technique, got to really go through, especially all the technical lessons. Go through those technical lessons, film yourself, and then watch the videos and go, do I look like that or not? Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to pull back the curtain on your own game.
100%. You have to. You have to. It's so important. Let's see. So, let's see. We covered Jason. Beginners often try to poach on every ball only to bail out at the last second and yell "you." It's frustrating for the partner. How can we know what ball we can poach? Any thoughts on that, Pete?
Well, I think more at the beginner level, it is so important to communicate and also have planned poaches. I think it's very, very tough if you are not a very skilled poacher who feels confident in your poaching ability, and that the majority of the time when you go, you move at the right time and you make good contact, and unless it's a great return, you're going to do your job and finish the point. If you're not at that level, then it's really important that you go back to your partner and you guys are talking and you say, "Hey, I'm going to try and poach this time," and you go, and then your partner knows to switch. So, but on the other hand, too, it is doubles. You have to be, you can't put it all on the poacher and say, well, they went and then they pulled off and then I missed. So then it's their fault. Like, you've got to be ready to back up your partner. And sometimes, yeah, I mean, doubles, you want to get used to that skill of watching your partner swing at a shot and you still keep your eye on the ball, because lots of times they're not going to hit it. And it doesn't mean that you can't make the shot.
Yeah, yeah, love that. Great advice. And yeah, I mean, Ian talked about different types of poaches. You've got your just when you instinctively go without calling it, but then you also have the planned poach. So, perhaps the planned poach is the way to go for that, and then you both commit to moving, and so you'll cover each side. So let's see. Yeah, we do have Stephen again with you did an amazing humbling analysis of my video. Love to see that. Great job, Pete. Jay, look, I love how both of you two set the two summits half a year apart. A whole year wait would be very long. Love to hear it. Love to hear
We
it.
timed it perfectly.
Yes, yes, yeah. We talk a lot, so that I'm glad that works out for you. Coolio. So, what did we just did? 4. Okay, so we can move on to 5. Is that cool with you, Pete? Permission?
Yes.
Please? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. So yeah, number 5 is accept your mistakes and move on. So I mean, there's a lot more to this. I was speaking with Larry Lauer, who is the mental skills specialist for USDA player development. So really cool to have him on as well. But I mean, a lot of what he was saying was just essentially that players, you're going to make mistakes. We're not robots, and the way we have a lot of players, of course, who like they miss a shot or two and then they let it just keep boiling over, and they think about their previous mistakes, and they let themselves play bad because of that. And I also remember Jorge saying this last year as well, where like as tennis players, we have to stay in the present. We shouldn't be in the past. We shouldn't be in the future, because both of those mess you up as well. The future. I was in the future a lot. Not talking Star Trek, but talking about like, I can't wait to win this match, or how great is it going to be for me to win, and then you lose, of course, because you're thinking too much about the outcome. So, but yeah, just the concept of if you make a mistake, you accept it, and then you move on, and you do your in between point routine, and then you think about the next point, like what can I do to be successful in this next point, and you reset, and I think that's just really important. So any thoughts on this one, or just generally mental game?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the longer you can keep playing tennis and keep growing and keep adapting these concepts, that this is what makes tennis players extremely intelligent on the court and off the court in life, because these are the skills you need to win on the court and in life, and they're the hardest ones to do, because if you're having a bad day in your business or in your personal life, or on the court, we all have the natural just way of beating ourselves up. And then we kind of build our own case against ourselves, like you lose your keys and then you lose your wallet or you do something. Then you start saying, you see, I did it again. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I'm this, I'm that,
Right.
and you almost can't wait, even though you don't want to, you almost can't wait to mess up again. So you can beat yourself up and say, see what a jerk you are. Like we all
Mhm.
do that to ourselves. And tennis is a game that it's all about problem solving, because even the best players in the world are not going to go more than a minute typically than seeing one of their balls not go in the court. You know, the most dominant players in the world, whether it's Roger, Rafa, Novak, whenever they've had their dominant peak, you can look at their stats and they're losing between 45 to 48% of the points. So even when they're totally
Yep.
dominating the rest of the field, they're still almost losing half of their points on the tour for the year. So you
Yep.
have to get used to seeing that. And so this is a huge, huge number 5 statement here. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. For sure. Let's see. James, I think he said that the dropping of the tossing arm initiates the shoulder tilt, the hitting shoulder going higher. Yes, 100% correct. Yeah, great observation there. All right, Pete. Shall we go to number 6?
Yes.
Permission? Thank
Yes.
you. Excellent. So this is a great one as well. Another one actually from Larry. That was a great session. Know what energy levels you need to perform your best. And it really hit home for me when he said, like if you're, because I asked him, I said, like, how do we know what energy levels we would need to perform our best? Because sometimes, for some of us, like we know, like we need to be hyped. Others know that we need, you need to be relaxed, whatever works for you. But it's very individual. And so he said, think about a time when you played really, really well, and then think about like what was your energy level at, and also, what did you do beforehand? How did you feel? Things like that. So I thought that's just very powerful to be able to try to replicate that sort of energy level as much as you can. And also, again, last year Jorge had talked about this in his mental game session. So I just think being aware of, oh, am I the type of person who should listen to like music that really hypes me up beforehand, or am I the type of person who should just like relax and talk with people? Also, am I the type of person who should think about the match like, all night, not all night long, but think about it a lot before the night before. And actually, it was also illuminating too. He said you can also think about like what do you do in like real life situations. And so I thought about myself, and for me, I love to be super prepared for things, like with something like this, for example, the top 10 lessons. Like I'm not the type of person to just come in here with like no notes and nothing and just like go, like that. And so it's the same with like when I study for an exam or prepare for other stuff, like I like to be like really in it, like the night before and whatnot, and before I perform. So that means that I should be the type of person who's studying the tactics and strategies and things like that. So, there's I mean, it's just a great lesson that I learned from Larry to be aware of our energy levels and how what suits us best for how we prepare. Because again, another theme of the night, as Peter has mentioned, is it's very individual as to what you need to perform your best. So, any thoughts there?
I think you nailed it. I mean, I think it's so important to know yourself and what works. And even sometimes it changes a little bit. Gigi knew herself. I think a lot of us would go, "Oh, I need to get hyped, so I need to listen to, like, a hard, loud song, whether it's rock or rap or whatever." But
Mhm.
Gigi was able to tap into, and this was again from your live stream. I was watching it this year. She said sometimes she would play a hype song if she felt her energy was too low. Other times she'd be too anxious and she'd play some classical music before she went on. So she was a big believer in this, and also attaching music to it. And when she said that, it kind of reminded me. I kind of remember that some of my best matches where I had good energy and good focus and was relaxed, I kind of had a song in my head throughout the entire match. And
Wow.
so I think that she said that. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, but maybe for some of you, you've got kind of like a favorite song in your head for the week. Maybe try and have that in your mind as you're playing. Kind of have that as kind of like your soundtrack to your match as you're actually out there.
Love that. That's a great tip there. Thank you for that, Pete. Let's see. James, hello, James. I think he said that the dropping of the tossing arm initiates the shoulder tilt, the hitting shoulder going higher. That's correct. That's great. Let's see. Bruce, I think, but not 100% sure. Jorge was who said change your game to suit opponent or against them. His tactics book and said you must change your tactics to at least one of his suggestions or you have not earned a win. Yeah, that's good. Good background, Bruce. Susanna, hi from Minneapolis. Hello, Susanna, again. Christopher, tennis has the most unique scoring system compared to any sport. A player can win more total points and still lose the match. It's all about playing big on the big points. I believe that was Jeff Greenwald who had mentioned that as well. He was comparing it to like basketball and other sports. So yeah, super great point there. Thanks, Christopher. Another great session from Jeff Greenwald. John, the key to getting to the ideal extension / contact point on the serve is stretching the non-dominant arm upward first. Yeah, that's a great point, John. I need to think about that more often. Is actually getting that stretch as well, not just putting it up there, but getting the stretch. Yeah, that's fantastic. Really, it'll force you to hit up with the serving arm, hitting arm. Let's see. Jamie, I don't know if this is the session you're talking about, but I like the Friday live stream about how to mentally prepare for matches. Yes, with Larry Lauer from USCA Player Development. I used it for my Saturday USCA match. I lost, but still valuable. That's great. That's great. Yeah, and obviously, it takes time for the tips to work. And I mean, maybe you played like an amazing opponent, but I'm really glad to hear that it helped you play better. And if you keep implementing it, then you're going to rack up the wins as well, Jamie. So great job for implementing. So important. Willard, how to practice like a pro, the 5-play situations and drills. Fantastic. Excellent. Coach Capistani, Coach Pete suggested to stop overswinging on your volley, priceless volley information. Yeah, and that should be on the top 10 list too. That's 10A right there.
It should be.
That's 10A. I haven't finished yet. Tom, I picture Mehrban coming in prepped with 4 yellow legal pads versus Andy Murray's 1 page with 10 items bullet points. Oh, Tom, great comment as usual. That's funny because I do have probably about 20 of those like yellow legal pads. I do. Yes. So you're correct about that. Yeah, I take more notes than probably I need, but it helps. Yeah, any general thoughts, Pete, at this point? Yeah,
you're a total nerd. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, what's funny too is yesterday I was in the bathroom and like I changed my contacts and I went to get my glasses and then like the right one just like snipped off. I was like, what the heck? So now I've got to wear contacts the whole day until I can get to Vision Works, which is some eyeglass place here. But yeah, I'm a nerd. I'd say so. I like,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, it's good to be prepared and to have the notes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look at Nick Kyrgios. He's too cool for school, and it works for him to a certain extent. But if he was a little more like our buddy Mehrban here, I bet you he'd win more. If he came in more prepared and took himself more seriously, took the Mehrban approach, Nick Kyrgios might even have a major at this point. So I think it's always better to be more prepared than it is to just go, I'm going to wing it. There's an advantage to like, I'm not going to put stress on myself. I'm not going to think about it too much. I mean, that's good. I mean, but for the most part, the people who year after year perform at their best levels, no matter what they're doing in life, are the ones who are treating everything like our buddy Mehrban is. So there you go.
Thank you, Peter. Well, you do a great job, and you're well.
You don't have to give me a compliment back. Just take it. All right, next one.
Next one. Thank you, Peter. Jason, there seems to be 2 camps on slice serve. One says we need pronation, while the other says just carve the ball, no pronation. Thoughts on that? And you've done a lot of great slice serve presentations over the years. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
Well, actually, that's kind of interesting because Ian Westman, who's coming up to you, he's written a book called Essential Tennis, and he's co-authored it with a guy named Joel, who actually I did a serve lesson with on Friday, and he couldn't get the slice that he wanted on the ball, and so I was showing him how to slice the ball. And first of all, just the idea of, if you have the continental grip, guys, you're going to have to pronate to hit the ball. You're going to have to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to hit the ball. You're just going to hit the edge of the racket if you don't pronate at all. So even the coaches who say don't think about pronation, you are still pronating to hit the ball. Maybe not your idea of what you think pronation looks like, with that. I can't even get myself on camera. How can I not get?
Oh, sorry. I can get you in there.
You know
Yeah,
what
there
I
you go.
mean? Like, everybody thinks about that, really big move away when you're thinking about pronation. But, and you can bring me back, Mehrban, to both of us. But
Okay.
I think when you're thinking about doing that and slicing the ball, if you've never sliced the ball before, you're not going to hit a really good slice. I mean, I do think about carving. I think about shaving. I think about imagination, when you come to the slice serve. And what I actually teach people how to do, and you'll see it on the video when we finally get it done, is I teach people to start hitting the edge of their racket first and just throw the ball up and tap it, throw the ball up and tap it. And then instead of tapping it, then just go, here's the edge. And now just move the edge a little bit out that way, right? And put the ball in the way. And now all of a sudden you move that way, and then you hit the ball, and then the ball goes the other way. And now you have slice. So, if you've never sliced the ball before, if you're like spin is a mystery to you, just do that one exercise, and I guarantee you will hit slice. I guarantee you will hit slice. And do it close to the net. Don't do it at the baseline. Literally stand right in front of the net.
Love that. Love that. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, great advice there. All right, we'll go to the next one if that works for you, and then we'll come back to the comments. What did I just? Yeah, okay. Number 7. So think about your opponent's playing style and strategies and tactics to defeat it. So I know that we talked a little bit about, part of this was, making your opponent hit uncomfortable shots, but I definitely, if you have the All Access Pass, go to Mark Sofulis's his presentation, and then also Louis Caillet's presentation, because they have like screens where you could screenshot it or whatever of like this player X like serve and volley, or like and you're this type, like this is what you should do, like it's like amazing stuff where I mean there's many different ways to play depending on who your opponent is, like what type of player they are they baseliner, serve and volleyer, all court player, and then their grip type, and then based on that, like what, and other factors, of course, like how should you play. So I think there's far too many of us who are just kind of going there on the court and just kind of playing the same way every time. And I'm trying to remember who it was that they brought up a clip of Shelby Rogers, and I also am trying to remember which player it was that she played against, but and beat. But in the interview, she said that, this is Jorge again, I think. But he said, she said that, it normally is not my game to like hit high loopy balls, but I recognize that I was playing this type of player who doesn't like this. So I changed my game. I hit a bunch of these loopy balls and then followed it up with like, an offensive shot. And then I was able to prevail like this. And so, I mean, it just goes to show that, you really do have to pay attention very well to your opponent and their strengths and weaknesses, and then adjust based on that. And then, as long as you have the tools to adjust, to implement, implement it, and then you're going to win. So this is just like other sports, you're trying a tactic and then it's not working maybe, and then you adjust. So I just think, generally this, obviously what I have on the screen, you've got to know your opponent's playing style, but also just advice to check out those strategy presentations, because a lot of them give you just it on a silver platter as to like what you need to do against different playing styles based on your game. So any thoughts there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the most important thing on what you said is make sure you're watching those sessions. That's why it's a great idea to have lifetime access.
Yeah.
And that lots of times you'll hear across all kinds of sports, what's a good matchup today and what's a bad matchup, like, oh, this this is a bad matchup for this team because this other person's style. And obviously, the better team you become, the better player you become, is you can handle all kinds of different playing styles and adapt to them. And the more you're able to adapt to different playing styles within your own skill set, you obviously are a better player than like, well, I dominate when I play this type of player, but when I play that type of player, I always get destroyed. So that's important to not only, just think about forehands and backhands, but to think about, how can I mold my game to where what parts of my games are going to work against different styles of play when I see it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I just put Peter's link to the All Access Pass, and we'll talk more about the bonuses and stuff that will come with that. And I'm adding something as well, so I hope you like that. That we'll talk about. Let's see. So we have a lot more comments. I'm trying to remember where I left off. So I think we talked about that one. Yeah, Willard's comment we had up. And then did we say this one, Peter? I picture Mehrban coming in prep with okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we did that one. That was a good one.
That one too.
That.
Okay, yeah. Majadanes. I loved Ian Westerman's session about the split step. We all think we're doing it till he showed video proof. I played in a tournament and focused on executing that. It felt like I had more time. Yeah, it's really something that a lot of players forget. I remember I was practicing my serves, maybe last month or something, but there was this lady with like her either coach or friend who was giving her tips, but the lady, she was hitting hundreds and hundreds of balls and no split step. It was amazing to me, so that's something that it's such a simple thing, but it pays big dividends and gives you a lot more time to get to the ball. So you need to do that for sure. Let's see, Christopher. Chance favors a prepared mind, Mr. Pasteur. Love that quote. That's fantastic. I should use that that quote. Let's see, Joe. I bet Joe, I bet Andy Murray has a few legal pads of notes, but boiled it down to 10 bullet points. Maybe it's possible. What do you think, Pete? Do you think he's the kind?
Well, I think Andy Murray is an extremely well prepared tennis player. So yeah, I mean, I think Andy's obsessed with the sport. I mean, you look at him from head to toe. He's ripped. He's fought hard to get back on the tour by replacing his hip. So I mean, I think no matter if you like Andy or you don't like Andy, I think he is somebody that has clearly put in the work his entire career and has left no stone unturned. So I would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Let's see. Back to the comments. Jamie, I asked Greg Lesueur about the two kinds of slice serves last year. He told me the version with pronation is more advanced and you can get more racket head speed because the racket travels further. Sounds right.
Yeah. Totally agree. I find that most people I've had a lot of people come visit me, and most people who are on these things are 3.5 to 4.0. And they either know that their serve is technically not there or they don't know. And then when they see it on video, they see how many leaks they actually have. And so I'm just saying, I'm not saying you don't pronate on a slice serve, guys. I'm just saying, I don't think that should be the first thing you're thinking about. Because when everybody thinks about pronation, you always think about doing that. And if you're thinking about doing that and you've never hit a slice serve, I think you're just going 3 steps too far. I mean, just make the ball curve first before you think about all the other stuff that you really don't need to be thinking about yet. That's the only point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. John again, from Performance Plus Tennis. Pronation has to occur after contact to avoid hyperextending the elbow. Good point there, John. On the slice serve. Let's see. Bruce. Yes, Jorge again. Shelby Rogers beat Ash Barty. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. Ash. Yeah. Thanks, Bruce, for confirming. Shelby post-match said, that's not how I like to play, but that was what I needed to do tonight. There you go. Brilliant. Let's see. Jamie, I have a very technical game, so I love trying different tactics on people. I'm not great at reading what they don't do well, though. Yeah, that comes with practice. So, keep observing and trying out different shots on them to see how they react. Pete, can you explain your volley point number, maybe it was 8, Boxing the Volley. I listened in the car to the MP3 and didn't see a video. I will review the video with my lifetime access, but need your explanation.
This is one of my favorite tips, and I've really been teaching. Actually, again, with Ian a couple days ago, I taught Joel, his friend Joel, and my friend Matt from Coffee Break Tennis how to box the volley, and I've also been working with the high performance juniors. So what I mean by boxing the volley, this is very, very important, whether you play singles or doubles, but especially when you think about a singles match. If you watch the pros put together an outstanding point, and watch how many times they come in and they hit a deep volley to the opposite corner, it's amazing how many times they get lit up and passed. They either get
Mm.
passed, lobbed, or they get hit such a tough shot that they can't handle the next shot. They either pop up the volley and get past the next one, or miss their volley. You watch the pros when they come on in, they get good court position, and then they're able to hit their volley, and it's most of the time to the opposite box, or they'll hit an inside out volley to the opposite box of where they approached. And when they do that well, and I'm not talking about a drop shot, I'm not talking about a touch shot, I'm talking about a firm volley that goes low in the box. You don't even need to aim near a line. It's almost like just to the half, you got the tee, and just to the other half of the tee, and it angles off a bit. Often these speedster pro players, go watch even the French Open, guarantee you at Wimbledon. You watching the players put this together, often these players don't even run. They don't even make a move. They realize I have zero chance. And so your job when you come to the net is to get that ball to bounce twice as fast as possible. The more you volley the ball deep when you come on in, it gives the opponent to move laterally, set up, and light you up. So that's what I was talking about.
Fantastic. Thank you for recapping that, Peter. Let's see. Jay, look, tennis is like chess, then match tactics against other tactics hit the weaknesses. Excellent. Tom, you're taking service box right Pete as a target.
Yes.
Yep. Cool. All right, let's go to the next one if you're cool with that. All right. So yeah, number 8 is to work the posterior chain and the pulling muscles. And this came from a great live stream with Dr. Mark Kovacs, who's one of the top sports scientists, sport performance experts, and he's worked with John Isner and all the many of the great American players and others. And yeah, he just talked about we asked what are the areas that players need to work on the most, and they were the posterior chain, the pulling muscles, and the core. And I think just a lot of players, they kind of in particular, obviously a lot of us love to go to the gym and do the bench presses and whatnot. But a lot of us, Dr. Kovacs said, we already naturally are stronger in our pushing abilities. And so we need to work more on that pulling, working the back quite a bit, as well as the posterior chain for more strength, being able to be more powerful and strong on the court with the posterior, muscles. So that's really important, just kind of when you are constructing your training, and, kind of to riff on that as well. I think it's great if you have the All Access Pass to be able to go back to these fitness sessions. We had a fantastic one with Dean that you can just follow verbatim. Another one with Satoshi Ochi, who's the head strength and conditioning coach at USTA with USA Player Development. Again, he went through the exercises, and then he had a screen where he listed, the proper workout routine and how you can adjust it. We had Dominic King with the top 5 exercises for your tennis training. So fitness sessions in particular, and I think we had 9 of them total. It's really I mean, I did the live workout today with Dean, which was we did a great warm up, and just from the warm up, I broke a great sweat, and I was feeling more mobile than I have in a long time. And trust me, I think if you follow the proper fitness regimen, your body's going to feel better, and you're going to play much better on the court. And you're going to be able to be more explosive and powerful. So, yeah, that was my tip for this one. And, biggest tip is to check out those fitness sessions, because they're really fantastic along with the other ones. So any thoughts on that one,
Well, I have more of a
Peter?
question. Can you just go through posterior chain? What are some of the main muscles that we're talking about to build that for everybody?
Yeah, so I mean, it's basically like your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves. Like those are the kinds of things, these kinds of muscles that we're really talking about there. And if you're not strong enough there, you can get injured. And again, you just won't fulfill your potential on the court. So definitely want to concentrate on that along with the core and pulling muscles as well. So hopefully that helps there. But yeah, if you check out the sessions, like you'll learn all about it. So yeah, let's see some more comments. Artie, great stuff, excellent presentation. We're enjoying and learning a lot. Thanks, awesome to hear. Thank you, Artie. Jamie, the Kovacs session was super helpful too. I'm going to rewatch it with my All Access Pass, but I appreciated his insights. Very smart, Jamie. Glad you enjoyed that one. It's really, really good stuff. Do you have like a fitness tip that you think is very, that can help the audience, like in terms of just I don't know, their overall tennis fitness or how to get more explosive or anything like that?
Well, I think the thing that I've been trying to do as I get older is implement, more of that preventative maintenance. And when I was younger, I didn't consider myself doing a true workout unless I was sweating and in pain and
Yeah, me
did
too.
some kind of punishment to myself. And
Yeah.
I think that even the pros today, and they kind of have a combination probably of both. I think back in my day, it was all about just beating yourself up, like. And now I think when we're talking about the highest level, they definitely have part of their training sessions that are grueling, no question. It's not just
Mhm.
all easy stuff to stay pain free, but they are so focused on that. And I think especially as older adults playing tennis and trying to stay healthy, you got to more implement that. Just don't think about, well, my exercise is tennis, or when I don't play tennis and I'm working out, I'm trying to kill myself on a treadmill or a stairmaster. It's doing those preventative maintenance stuff. And then sometimes, you know, you don't have to always go like an hour and be sweaty.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have 10 minutes, 20 minutes to get some stretches in or to get some strength exercises in. Um, that is super helpful. And when I'm doing that, which I've been doing a fairly good job lately, I'm not in pain as much.
Yeah, exactly, Pete. And with that, I think that's a perfect transition to number 9, which is activate your muscles with the right dynamic warm up exercises. With Satoshi, Dean, etc. I mean, I know I've mentioned this previously, but it's just such an important one that I want to mention again. And thanks, Peter, for mentioning it as well. Because I know a lot of us, we go out there, maybe we drive last minute and get to the match, and then we start playing. But it makes a big difference whether you're on the court, you're not warmed up, and then you lose a few games. Those games could be the games that could have won you the match if you had been ready. And so, like I mentioned earlier, when I did this live workout session with Dean, we went through a warm up routine that was, I don't know, it was like 10 minutes or less or something like that. And after just doing that, I broke a sweat and I just felt like amazing, as far as like I felt like I was ready to go, ready to move to the ball quickly and powerfully. And I could tell that like being in that state versus a state where you're not warmed up properly is just so huge. So definitely want to just highly encourage you again to check out the sessions if you have the All Access Pass, and just if you don't, just construct a proper warm up routine that will prime your muscles to help you play to your full potential. And I remember interviewing, I think it was probably Dr. Kovacs, years ago on the podcast, the Tennis Files podcast, and he had mentioned this, and I said, oh, let me actually try this, because I'm usually like the guy who's rushing out to matches at the very last minute. And I just felt the difference was immense. So I just wanted to put that out there to make sure you all follow this, because it's really important. So, I mean, you kind of talked about it, but any other thoughts?
No more thoughts. I think that's same. I'd say the same exact thing, so I don't need to repeat it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Let's see. So some comments. Joe, as a podiatrist, I treated Achilles problems, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get Dr. Kovac's opinion regarding deep fiber massage as a health treatment option. I think that is a very good option, but no worries, Joe. We'll try to get Dr. Kovacs on again. I'm sure. Well, I hope that he'll be able to come on next time. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to ask him about that at some point. But yeah, let's see. Tracy, both of you guys are really helping us change the tennis world by providing access to some of the best high-level teaching, coaching, and training in the world. Thank you, Tracy. Really appreciate that. Really nice to hear. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the aim, just trying to get the best that we can find to help you improve. So very glad that you're enjoying it. Great to see that. And thank you so much for what you do. Thank you, Tracy. Awesome. Cool, Pete. Wow, we're at number 9, and it's not like an hour and a half, which is usually where we're at.
We're close though. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did number 9, so now we're at 10.
10, yeah. So yeah, and it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, a lot of great sessions. I mean, one tip would also be to watch Peter's session on volleys, because like I'm volleying all the time, and I feel like if you want to level up your volleys, you definitely want to see Peter's session. But the one that I put here, which is a little bit different, is just maybe I should describe it more, but tennis elbow tip. So there's a great session with Emma Green, who is the tennis elbow queen, and she mentioned a couple different things. I mean, one which is very simple is like for tennis elbow, one of the best stretches that you could do is very simple, where you just have your arm out like this, and you just put your hand over your other hand that's outstretched, and you just do this. And this is one of the best stretches that you can do for tennis elbow. And then the other tip is that you want to warmth, like heat is what's going to help with tennis elbow, not the cold. So you want to keep that in mind. I mean, for more of an explanation, you should definitely check out Emma Green's session on that. She had some great tips about tennis elbow, really insightful stuff. But I just know that a lot of people are, have suffered from it before. So if you just implement that simple stretch and then check out her session, if you have the All Access Pass, then you will definitely be able to put yourself on a path to healing or just preventing tennis elbow. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of note that one, because I thought that was neat. We had never had a session on tennis elbow before, and on the summit in the 6 years. So that was a cool one. So have you ever had an experience with tennis elbow, Peter?
I don't know if I've had full tennis elbow, because I mean I've heard people say things like, I can't even lift up a milk carton, things like that.
Yeah.
So I've never been like that. I mean, I think at some point every single part of my body has had what they call a niggle, like something that just kind of bothers you. But I mean, tennis elbow is one of those things that is the thing that sucks when you get it is it's so long lasting unless you treat it the right way. And I mean, first is just go see a doctor for sure, an expert who can help you and figure out if you need to, whatever you need to do, whether it's rest, a little bit of medication, but always, that's always going to be part of it, is the rehab and then the preventive maintenance. So it's so great that you did do a session on this, because it will probably affect everybody at some point is going to start to feel their elbow be in a little bit of pain.
Yeah, 100%. And it's interesting too, because Emma talked about the difference between the golfer's elbow and tennis elbow, and it's funny, if you have golfer's elbow, which is on the inside, versus it's outside for tennis elbow, then you just do the opposite stretch. So that's the one you want for the. I was just blocking my face, I guess, right? But anyways, hopefully you got that. But yeah, wow. So we've reached the 10 tips. So that is great. Just random question for you, Pete. Is there any one tip that stood out the most for you? I'll put them back on if you want. But
Um,
aim for
no,
yeah,
I mean the thing about the tennis summit, and when you put on these type of events, it's like there's almost too much good information. Like it's too
yeah.
good to digest in one sitting. And I find that when I go through these things, especially as a coach, I'm dispersing the information out over months. I'll hear a tip or see a video that I really like, and I'll be on the court with a student, and then it will trigger. That's how these videos help me, is it will trigger a session I watch. I'm like, they need to hear this right now, and then, or they need to do this drill, and then we do it. And lots of times that is the answer to that problem. And then I'll be in another lesson a couple weeks later, and then there'll be another situation, and boom, I often quote or do drills that I have seen through the tennis summit or tennis con. So
Mhm.
it is so good to have these things at your disposal, because as a player and a coach, um, you're going to need all of it over time.
Yeah.
And you can't use all of it in one day.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. Yeah, for sure. So, thank you. Yeah, it's such a great resource. Let's see. So, Danita, hey, Danita, do you have say 5 key things to say to your doubles partner after a point and 5 things not to say? There's a lot of yeah, that'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any? And I'll try to contribute
No,
too.
well, here's the thing. Number one, 5 things is way too many. And the key to a good doubles team is communication and not
Yeah.
being afraid to problem solve. And I think the best way to problem solve, see, I think the biggest mistake I've seen when I'm coaching people, especially most people, are not vocal enough. And then the people that are very vocal, I've noticed, tend to be little generals out there. Stand here, do this, do that. I'm going to do this, you go do that. And I get uncomfortable as a coach watching it. So I can only imagine how the partner is feeling. I mean, if you want them to perform, you're getting the opposite result. And the best, one of the best experiences in my life was playing doubles with Mark Woodford, who won 17 Grand Slam titles. And I was so nervous. And I really thought, because we did this at Tennis Fantasies, and there's like a little crowd watching us because we're like the show court. I'm playing with Mark Woodford. My opponent is a college coach as well, so it's 2 coaches. So some of the better players there, and he's playing with Rick Leach, who also won 9 Grand Slam titles. And so I'm thinking the worst. I'm like, this might be a disaster. What if I just suck? Like I don't know how I'm going to play with Mark. And the coolest thing was, as soon as the match started, and again, because it was all about us, it wasn't about the Grand Slam people. They were there to please us, right? And
Yeah.
so I was going to serve first, not Mark Woodford. I mean, if it was a real match for something special, then obviously Mark would have served first, but I served first. And right away he goes, "Where do you like to serve?" And I told him where I like to serve. Okay, good. Why don't you do that? He kept asking me what I like to do, what I like to do. And as he's doing that, he's gathering information. He's learning about me. He's learning, what does the guy like to do? What is he comfortable doing? What is he not comfortable doing? And then if he asked me to do something that wasn't comfortable for me, he made it very low pressure. Like, lots of times we were returning cross court. And then one time he just turned to me and goes, why don't you give this one a go down the line, mate, and have fun with it? So then I'm like, okay, I got the green light to go down the line. And if I miss, he's not going to be mad at me. Like I played so great, and I was thinking this is going to be suck, so it was great. That's my best advice.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. Asking your partner and making them feel like they're, contributing as well, instead of kind of directives and whatnot, which is something I remember from Emma Doyle talking about that in her session. Yeah, I mean, for me, I just kind of focus on, what plays are we going to do and things like that. Ask my partner, like, yeah, similar things, like, what are you comfortable with most in your game? Or like if it's a yeah, a big point. Like, what are you feeling like doing, things like that. And also, I've heard that saying sorry is actually something that you don't want to say. You just want to focus on the positives. Yeah, let's see. Great question. Jamie, I struggle with shin splints and other overuse type issues with my legs, and I definitely believe dynamic warm-ups are crucial for managing those issues for sure. Definitely that. Definitely try to look and see, if you're using the correct footwear and socks. I've heard that, well, I use Thoralos now, and they have different they're varying degrees of thickness for those, and I found that those have actually kind of helped. I was having like some heel pain, and by switching to a highly cushioned shoe, and again, it's different for everybody, but for me, along with the Thoralos, that's helped my feet issues. So actually, a good channel you might want to check out is Foot Doctor Zach, because he breaks down shoes and like cuts them open. It's pretty cool. So yeah, let's see here. Emma, oh sorry, Jay. Look, Emma surprised me with the heat versus ice to help heal. Exactly, me too. That's why I mentioned it. But yeah, it's important. James, you gents rock. Thank you very much. Continued success. Same to you, James. Really appreciate that. Tracy, Mehrban, can you put the list into an email and shoot it out to all attendees? That's a great idea. I'm definitely gonna email the recap video. So yeah, thank you for that feedback there. Tracy, sorry, fat fingers, Mehrban. No worries, no worries. I've seen much worse. So it's all good. Just one letter. Susanna, I really enjoyed the video analysis of peer players. Yeah, for sure. We had with Jeff Salzenstein and John Craig, who we both know quite well. Christopher, you don't digest in one sitting. Not if you're seeking mastery. And if you're not seeking mastery, what are you seeking? You keep coming back. You gain new insights, which in each view. So yeah, Christopher, great comment. And again, that's why we just try to, we pack in as much value as we can for you with the all access pass. But that's why you'd want to get that and upgrade, because, as you can see, like, people are really benefiting from these lessons, and there's so much great information where you want to be able to refer to it back again in the future. So yeah, thanks, Christopher, for pointing that out. Patrick, thanks, Mehrban, for hosting the Tennis Summit, and Peter for hosting TennisCon. I always learn a lot from the master classes. Yeah, for sure. Our pleasure, and it's definitely labor of love, but we're just really energized to see that you all are benefiting from it. So, Peter, at this point, and so I also want to say, stick around till the end. I should have mentioned that I'm gonna give away a few prizes, courtesy of Babolat. So definitely stick around to the end. But Peter, I do want to talk about your awesome bonus with the if you get the all access pass through your link. So I don't know if you wanted to speak about that first, and then I have like a short slide deck.
Absolutely. So I have some bonuses, and let me see if I can actually pull that up. So I really love the idea of people, um, going lifetime, because it's so much work that Mehrban has put into this. And as a coach, it's all about repetition, and working with different levels of players. The answer that I always have for anything that we're trying to do to get better is all about doing it again and again and reviewing it over and over again. So this year, my topic was on net play. So to kind of complement that, and obviously most people are playing doubles here. So to complement that into your game, I've come up with 3 bonuses to help you be better at the net and to be better in doubles. So it's finally got up here on my thing. So I'm going to hit my screen, and then Mehrban, you basically make that happen for me if you can. Oh,
Yeah,
let's
it might
see
take like a
here.
couple seconds.
My thing is okay, cool, and I'm going to do a slideshow. So let me know when my slideshow is loading. Let me know when you see
Okay,
it.
I'll let you know. Not
It's
quite
going
yet.
so slow. It's loading and loading and loading. Oh
That's
my
okay.
gosh, are you kidding me?
No worries. In the meantime, I can
It,
ask or answer a question if you want.
answer some questions. Oh, it came up.
Okay, cool.
It came
So
up. Do you see it?
not yet. Hopefully it'll appear on my end real soon. This is a good
You
question
don't
though.
have it?
Not yet for some reason, but hopefully, I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, or you can just try it
Did you
again.
see the
But
share the screen? Did you see the share the screen option, or that did never happened either?
no,
Like
I
you
just
can't.
see me and you.
Oh, but
Yeah.
you can't share my screen. Okay. Okay. Let me
I,
try share the screen again.
yeah, try it again because usually, like, if you share it on your, like, you initiate it and
Oh,
then it'll
I
come
see.
on
I
mine.
see. I see. I see.
Ah,
I
here we
skipped a
go.
step. Now you see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And
There we
slideshow.
go.
Now we should be good.
Well, that should
Good to
go.
go.
Yeah, we'll
And of
answer
course,
that
now it's
question in a
loading.
second, Jason.
Okay.
You're good.
So I've got a bonus package worth 261 bucks, and I would say that that is pretty conservative, actually. And so
Yeah.
here are my three big bonuses. Number one is next level doubles. This is, as you can see, a lot of things that we're talking about that are confusing to people. And this is on video. I've got a video on when to poach, when and how do I come to the net in a doubles rally, when and how do I set up my partner to close out a point, how do I understand effective shots and how to take advantage, best tactic to use when I play with a weak partner, how to play with forever changing partners, which I know you all play league tennis and that happens a lot, what to do to neutralize somebody who is a poach monster. How do I decide what side we should play as a team? How to deal with people who dink and lob, which happens a lot. What happens if I am the inferior opponents? What happens when you're the weak link, which will definitely happen? Like I mentioned that day with Mark Woodford, clearly I was the weak link, okay, but still was able to hold up my end of the bargain. Running plays with your partners. These are all kinds of videos that you're going to see. So it's actually 108 videos to next level doubles that are in there. I remember on our last one we were live together, it was like people were asking, how do I hit and handle a high backhand volley, which is super tricky. You can see
Hmm.
there's a video on it right there. Bonus number two is no fear net play. Why do we call it no fear net play? Because a lot of people are afraid of the net, especially when their partner is serving and you're up there in the hot seat. I think a lot of people are afraid, when do I, how to poach, and then, just your technical skills when the ball is hit at you hard or you have a put away volley and you should put that thing away. So you can see in there, we've got chapter one, forehand volleys. This is really, really technical stuff on the volley. Backhand volley, ball spacing and movement, the drop shot, wall drills you can do, warm up drills you can do, how to add power to your volley, which I find a lot of people struggle to really stick their volleys and make that ball go fast through the air and then skid when it hits the court. Mid court volley practice, mid court mastery practice, which again, I find that a lot of people do well at the baseline, set themselves up, and then once they start to transition, they have a tough time finishing. So this is showing you how to do that. How to improve net coverage and accuracy. So again, this is a $97 value. That's bonus number two. And then finally, bonus number three is a 7-day double specialty shot challenge. This is one of the challenges right here. And so each day you get a different challenge to try different shots. And, you can even use the video ask, which you can send me questions and things like that, which I'll start to really pay attention to now that we're ending this. So those are all the bonuses. It's $261 worth of value. And that happens when you upgrade off my link. So Mehrban, make sure you're putting my link in there. Uh, Stop sharing the screen. I'll come back. And one thing, we have been very busy putting this into players' libraries, students' libraries. So a lot of you should have this now in your crunch time coaching training library. You should be able to log in and see these bonuses if you have upgraded. If you have upgraded and you're pretty sure you bought off my link and it's not in your library yet, if you've just done it in the last day or so, or definitely in the weekend, or maybe on Friday or Thursday, it might not be there yet. We're still working on playing catch up. But like if you ordered like last Monday and it's still not in your library, then maybe you just didn't see the email come through that we actually set you up, or maybe somehow we missed you. It could happen. So if for whatever reason you're like, well, I signed up and I don't have my bonuses yet, maybe Mehrban, if you could put this in there in the chat, or you can make it a banner
Sure.
email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com. So if you ordered Wednesday and before, from last Wednesday and before, and you still don't know how to get your bonuses from me, and you're positive you brought off my link, because when you buy off my link, I get a customer list, and then I take that list of emails and I've been giving it to my web developer to set you guys up. So if you're like, I haven't been set up yet, then email me and say, I haven't been set up yet. I want my bonus, and we will work on getting your bonus within 24 hours. It would be helpful if some of you are on the call, if you did buy off my link, if you could either write in the chat, yes, I have my bonus and I know how to log in, or don't be afraid to also write, you won't hurt my feelings. You can write down, now I'm not going to remember this off the chat. You got to email me, but I just want to get a feel for people. If you have been set up and know how to log in, say, yes, I got it. No, I'm still waiting. So I can kind of get a feel to make sure that the system is working properly. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, Pete. Yeah, I really want to thank you so much for like just providing a lot of extra value with the all access pass bonuses that you're offering. And yeah, I just want to share my screen too, just to show you basically like everything, because I know sometimes people are not sure of like what they're getting, but it's obviously quite a bit, I would say. So let me get the this thing on the screen up real quick. And so just to go fairly quickly, I mean, first off, you obviously get lifetime access to all 40 plus, I think it's 45 Summit masterclasses, the on-court lessons, the strategy sessions, fitness, technique, mental game, all of that, everything from the Summit, lifetime access, one-time payment only. And then you get the MP3 files, which is fantastic to listen to, when you're driving or in the shower while cooking. So that's really great value as well. I mean, I listen to podcasts.
Wait, are you in the shower while cooking?
I've tried and it didn't work too well.
Okay.
I burnt all my food, so.
So those are two different things: in the shower,
sorry,
and then while cooking. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Sorry, I should start saying no worries, verbalizing the commas: in the shower, comma, while cooking, comma. But anyways, yeah, exactly, separate. Don't try that together. Transcripts of all the Summit session. I got an email actually yesterday asking if transcripts would be available, and that is correct. So a lot of times you just want to read the information. So there you go. Great value there. Tennis Summit implementation worksheet to make sure that you are able to distill all the information. We've got a worksheet for you to help you write down, the main points of each session. We've got exclusive access to the Summit Facebook group. We've got a members only Q&A with me and a special guest. We're going to try to arrange that. And then you get a free set of Signum Pro or Genesis strings. So this is the live stream that was referred to earlier, the 2-hour live stream. And so, I've been able to strike up a friendship with Richard Grunewald. And so he is offering everybody who has signed up to the lifetime access pass, all access pass, that they would get a free set of Signum Pro or Genesis strings.
That is insane.
High quality.
Think about the work that guy's doing for you guys. I mean, that is amazing. He's taking, I don't know how many 100+ people and saying you had strings for getting amazing coaching. I mean, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you. It's going to be like nearly 1,000 probably. So a lot. And then special deals and discounts as well from our sponsors. And then as we talked about, and thanks again to Pete, you will get, if you go through his link, which I put in the comments, you'll get No Fear Net Play. You'll get Next Level Doubles, and you'll get a 7-day double specialty shot challenge, which I believe adds up to 261 total. So, and then on top of that, so you see at the bottom of the screen, like the value, I'm also going to add my top 10 podcast interviews. So I have a podcast called the Tennis Files Podcast, and I interview, the best top coaches and players on the planet and experts. It's similar kind of to this, but so I'm going to include my top 10 interviews as well. So I'll send that, and don't worry if you've previously signed up, I'll also add that for you. So we're adding all that. So as you can see, I mean, in my, humble opinion, like just getting the lifetime access to the videos is in itself like a steal basically for $97. But then you also get all of these other bonuses, and then you get Peter's bonuses. So I just really think that, if you want to improve your game, if you're serious about it, and if you enjoy learning and implementing from the top coaches and experts in the world, and you like what you see here on the screen and what you've learned this week, then I would highly encourage you to get the All Access Pass. And again, I'll just put the link up here for Peter's link. You got to go through that to get his bonuses. And yeah, also thank you, Tom, for saying that, there's also a money back guarantee, of course. So if you're not pleased at all, you check them out, and for whatever reason it's not your cup of tea, just let me know, and I'll refund you. So
can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
So again, think about this. You guys got to watch everything. I mean, I am proud of the online tennis community. Okay. When you think about it, we let you guys watch everything, or we lots of times give you 3 preview videos to watch, like a course. And then we offer you guys lifetime money back guarantee. I got to go to a concert that I was super excited about a couple weeks ago. It was Daryl Hall, and I was all excited about it. I love Hall and Oaks, and I love Daryl's house. And I signed up, and as soon as and I'm not going to mention who the artist was he was playing with, because then you guys might like him or not like him. But as soon as I signed up for the tickets, and it showed who he's playing with, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go anymore. I don't like this artist. I don't want to see him play all these songs with this artist and sing, because I don't like this artist. And I tried to get a refund, and I could not get a refund. They said, we don't give refunds for this. And that was literally, I asked for a refund 2 minutes after I bought the tickets for over $250. Then I go to the concert, and Daryl Hall, to my amazement, when he came out, did not play one hit. He decided at 75 years old, he wanted to do all original stuff that nobody ever heard of, and make you sit there. And I actually walked out. So I bought tickets for $250. I Ubered there and back, which was another $50. I got a drink for me and my lady friend for probably $40 plus, and I didn't even like it. You guys have at least seen everything. You know exactly what you're getting. And if you decide at any point that all of a sudden you decide you don't like it, which I don't know how you could, like, you've seen everything, you can get a refund. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry to hear that, Pete. I really am. I mean, that's not a light chunk of change there. So sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty unique. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can watch it, and then you don't like it, just money back. So there really is zero risk, like seriously, zero risk. So you can always just email me if you need any help on anything and whatnot. So Tom, awesome. Thanks a lot. You confirmed great bonus package. Got it. So I'm really glad that you like it. Christopher, 40 plus lessons for $97, $2 and change a session, less than a cup of coffee. Yeah, for sure, Christopher. Definitely plus the bonuses. So yeah, appreciate your comment. Peter, good session. Glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Linda, how are you? Just wanted to thank you, Mehrban, for your zest and love of the game and your never-ending curiosity. You're terrific. Thank you, Linda. That's very sweet of you. You're terrific yourself as well. Great to see you here. Jason, thanks, Mehrban. You're the rare one who looks out for 2-5-4 players. Fantastic work. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. And my friend Pete is also looking out for y'all. Tracy, holy SH, I'm a Hall and Oates fan, and that would totally suck. Yeah.
It totally
sounds
sucks.
like it did. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Sean, hey, Sean, how are you? Great job, Mehrban. Appreciate that, Sean. Nice to see you. Let's see. I think we might have had a couple of comments. Oh, yeah. So let's try to answer this one real quick. Jason, question to both of you. If you could ask Federer one question, what would it be? I'm going to let you go first so I have time to think of one.
Will you marry me?
Okay.
I love Federer. I mean, I think Federer is one of those guys that everybody loves. Men, women love Federer. Obviously would be, would you marry me? But I mean, that's a great question. If I could ask Federer one question, what would it be? I mean, geez. I guess, what I would like to ask any of them, Roger, Rafa, or Novak, why the drive to keep going? Like you saw what happened with Ash Barty. She won and she was ready to be done. She's like, I know how hard it is to keep doing this at this level, and I just know that I can't. And so I don't want to just kind of keep putting myself through it. I don't have the drive to keep doing it. I feel like I've accomplished everything, and she accomplished a lot. But when you compare to what she's accomplished to these guys, it's it's not even close. And it's kind of almost insane when you think about it for a while. It's like when you have millions upon millions of dollars and you've won so much and you've proven yourself over and over again to where no one's going to question you if you've done enough.
Yeah.
What drives you to keep doing more? Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it. I mean, it's kind of weird almost when you think about it.
Yeah. Dang it, Peter, mate. That's probably the best one, honestly. I think that's the best question that you could ask him. I don't know. Just maybe for interest purposes, I'd ask him maybe like, "What's your one biggest regret?" or something like that. But I think your question is the best question, because if we could somehow figure out that secret, well, I mean, again though, it is individual, because like there's different things that drives each of us. Maybe some of us want to make our parents proud. Some of us want to like just make tons of money. And I guess by saying us, like the pros, others have it's all about being number one, etc. So, but that's a great question. So good stuff. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we got all the questions. Oh yeah, Tracy. Yes, it is all about repetition, Pete. So how the heck are you going to outdo this summit now? You guys keep getting better. Smiley face. The bar is now set pretty darn high. I believe in Pete. Pete whips out some great stuff and improves his event all the time in his program. So I'm sure he can one up me, and then I'll try to one up him.
I'm not gonna one up him, but I have some good ideas up my sleeve, and I've been keeping my eye out for some new talent that I'm gonna try and swoop up here.
Yeah, 100%. I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, hopefully you ask me back, Pete.
Mehrban, you're
Let's
not
see.
invited.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. That's fine. That's fine.
Of course you are, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. So we'll try to answer a couple more. Then we've been going long, but Jay, look, even how to cover for a weaker partner in doubles. Was that a continuation of a question? I'm wondering. Maybe it was a previous question of yeah, I'm not sure. Jayla, can you maybe expand upon that? That would be appreciated. But hey, yeah, maybe let's just ask generally, like, how do you cover for a weak partner? Is it like, you have them just tell them like cover your designated area and I'll cover more of the court, or like adjusting tactics, like, you stay back on the serve, or what? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I think again, when you have the weaker partner, you make them feel stronger. I think that's so. I think a lot of it is confidence building. Um,
Yeah.
Having a good time with them on the court, but then, and then once you guys are comfortable talking about problem solving, then you can do things like try different formations. I remember one time I was playing a match and it was at the tennis fantasy thing, and me and my partner were playing really good, but there was this one particular returner who was lighting us up on the ad side. This was roping cross court returns, and Roy Emerson suggested that we play Aussie formation. So I basically moved over to the other box because he's like, this guy naturally likes to pull the ball. So let's see if he can return down the line. Amazingly, he couldn't. So then all of a sudden, he was missing returns down the line. He was giving us high volleys, and we came back and won. And we were getting tuned, and we were on our way to be out quickly. So making adjustments with your partner, formation wise, things like that can go a long way. But I think the biggest thing about when you're playing with somebody weaker, it's all about, it's rare that two of you are equal.
Yeah.
There's always a weaker player, or you do things well and they do things well. It's never just equal, pretty much. And you gotta not make them feel like that. And it's tough to resist the rolling of the eyes, the excusing, the kind of giving up mentally because you're like, oh well, my partner stinks anyway, so we're gonna lose. You gotta avoid all that stuff.
Yeah. 100%. Appreciate that. I'll take a couple more. I know we're running pretty late here, but
Are you still
enjoying
giving
it.
away prizes? I think we gotta get
Oh
some
my
prizes. See,
God, prizes!
Mehrban, wake
Oh,
up,
holy
wake up.
crap! Oh my God, jeez. Oh boy. All
Are
right.
you gonna do the prizes, or should I not
Yeah.
mention that?
No,
All
no,
right,
no.
here we go.
Yeah.
Prizes,
All right.
guys.
All right. So the first prize is going to be this Babolat sack pack and dampener.
Okay.
Trying to frame this correctly. So the question is,
Oh, good.
and whoever gets it, yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is the name of Peter's website? And first one who gets it
Oh,
will
good
win.
question. Good question, Mehrban. Thank you for asking that.
Uh-huh.
By the way, we actually revamped it, so you can go to this
Oh,
site and take a look. We actually redesigned it a bit.
okay. Awesome, man. That's congrats.
No one's getting it. That's not a good sign. Oh, there we go.
Can you imagine if there were like no answers?
Might be time to
Oh, man.
retire.
So no. So I see Jack. Do you see Jack?
Jack said crunch time, but I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
And crunch time tennis.
You're right.
I see
You're
Bruce
right.
Kennedy as the winner here.
No, you're right. Yeah, we have to go with the official full name. That's true. So Bruce Kennedy, right?
Yep.
And that's a funny emoji you have there. I want to steal that.
What is
so
that?
Is it like a, I don't even know what the proper name is. I don't want to offend with the wrong name, but it's funny. So Bruce, please email me at mehrban@tennisfiles.com. Let me actually just make a quick banner, I guess, so people will know, because my name's not the easiest to spell, I guess. But so yeah, just email me here. So nice job, Bruce. And then second thing, let's see here. So the second prize is a set of strings here, RPM Blast. So that's a cool one. Any particular question that you want to ask, Peter?
I do.
Yes. Thank you.
Are you guys ready? Here's the question. Last name. You just got to do the first one to get the last name right. Who lost a set today 6-0? What professional tennis player lost 6-0 in a set?
Iranshad.
That's hysterical.
John, you can never win a prize again. No, I'm kidding. That's hilarious. Oh, I should give you the prize.
Did Alcaraz too? Did two people?
I don't know. I might have to look that up. I know the one. Let me look up Alcaraz just real quick.
I see one. I see it's is it Cecil? I see them spelling it correctly. That's the first one I see spelled all correct. It's Djokovic for sure, lost 6-0 to Rublev. But I didn't check out the Alcaraz match. So.
No, it's not Alcaraz. It's not Alcaraz.
Okay. Did he win today? Did Alcaraz win or lose?
He won.
Okay, so he definitely didn't lose 6-0. Yeah, he won 6-3, 6-2. He put the beat down City on. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so all right, yeah. So there you go. So that is one question.
Yeah, and so we're going with correctly spelled, right?
Yes, correctly spelled. Yeah. We got Joker. I'm not giving that credit. We got Djokovic spelled wrong, and then we got Djokovic spelled correctly.
Yeah,
I think that's who should get it. Yes.
Very strict here. So nice job, Cecil. So
put your email up one more time so people can really see it.
Email. Please email me. And also, sorry, email me with your name, your address, your social security. No, sorry. It's okay. You don't have to give me social security. Yeah, name and address is appreciated. And then what you won, the prize you won, please. Okay. Let's do one more. And this one's a cool one. So you're gonna get a sack pack again, but then also a replacement grip. Comfort.
This is
So
amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's cool. My friend Alan Iverson, big shout out to him. Again, not the basketball player, but he's a sales rep for Babolat, and so he really hooked it up this year. So I really appreciate it. So, you have any questions you want to ask, Peter?
You want me to ask another one? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here it is, and so we should have. This should be a pretty quick answer. Who dealt out that 6-0 set? Who took the Djokovic out 6-0? Last name.
Spelled correctly, by the way. You got to spell it correctly.
Okay, I definitely see BZ9. Was he the first?
He spelled it right. Yeah, I think so. Let me just double check.
Although I like John's answer better, Freeman. I mean, yes.
Oh my God! So it's like you beat me 6-0. Wow, it's streaming in. So we have we have BZ9. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I just want to double check.
I think BZ9 was the first one.
Yeah, because it's funny. Sometimes we get like disputes on this, and we like triple check. Like I have 2 different chats I'm looking at. So yeah, BZ9. So BZ9, please email me at Mehrban@tennisfiles.com for that, for the prize with your name, address, and the prize. So yeah, that's that. And let me look up one last time. Any other last? Oh, I want to highlight this one. Elaine signed up for All Access Passes. I missed some of the sessions with the free access. Thanks for everything, guys. Also, I've enjoyed Pete's 7 days challenges. Love that. Love to hear that. And then let's try to answer this one because I love the question from Devor Tennis House, which you should check out. What drives you to each day to help others to improve? What's it with you, Pete?
Passion, and I love the consistency of it, and always coming up with new ideas and new ways to say the same thing. And yeah, and I one thing that's kind of interesting about as I get older, I am more grateful for tennis as I get older. I just think it's an amazing sport. I think the people in it are amazing. And the more you do this, you realize that people, this is so many people's thing in their life that does it for them. And it's such a healthy addiction. There's so many things that are so toxic out there. And
yeah,
I mean, and I think the more the internet continues to evolve, the more toxic it gets. I mean, the internet, kind of like television, if you use television in the right way, you become a better person. If you use the internet in the right way, I mean, you could literally, like, no one has an excuse. Here's the crazy thing. No one has an excuse to not know anything today. If you go on YouTube, if you go other places, if you buy online courses, no matter what your socioeconomic level is, if you have the desire to learn something, it's out there and you can become a better person day by day. But most people are completely destroying their brain on the internet. Most people are on TikTok watching the most disgusting. It's not helping you in any way. It's literally just turning your mind to mush. And tennis is the #1 sport for longevity. And I believe that the reason why it is because it not only stimulates your body, it constantly stimulates your mind. And if you always have that growth mindset, it's always challenging your mind. And that's what's so good about something like the Tennis Summit.
Yeah, thanks so much, Peter. And again, great question, Devori. Yeah, for me, I think it's a combination of a couple of things. Just similar to Pete, first off, it's just I've gotten so much from tennis. I've made so many great friends like Peter, of course, and I've, landed jobs through tennis connections, and I've had so many great experiences traveling and playing and competing and learning about how to improve my game, which transfers very well to how to improve in your life. And I just feel like I want to give back, like Peter's also doing, and just help people. And also, I am definitely a bit of a people pleaser, which can be, not the best like all the time, but I think that combination as well of like really just enjoying to have people, happy and enjoying things. And, as I started Tennis Files and then kept going with the summits, I just see how much people enjoy, this event. So I just want to keep going with it and improving it. And, I obviously don't enjoy like if there's an aspect or two that people don't like, so then I try to improve it, and I just try to keep you all enjoying it. So very glad for all your messages and support. Really appreciate it. And great question, Devore. So yeah, and yeah, Elaine, it's emotionally rewarding. Worked corporate for 25 years and made good money, but so much happier teaching tennis. Right on, Elaine. That's fantastic that you found tennis, as a great way to, give back and be a job that you love. Love that answer. A way to give back. So yeah, everyone, it's been almost 2 hours. So thank you, Pete, for sticking around, and everybody for sticking around. And just again, one more time, want to put up on the screen with the All Access Pass. Whoops. I definitely highly encourage you to check it out. And here's Peter's link one more time, and you will get everything you see on the screen here. Including Pete's 3 bonuses of no free net play, next level double, 7 days double specialty shot challenge. Just make sure to go through Peter's link, and Peter will email you his bonuses. And if you, for whatever reason, in a few days don't get them, then you can email him at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com. But definitely highly encourage you to get the All Access Pass, money back guarantee. So no risk, like we talked about, you can watch it. And if you don't like it for whatever reason, which don't think that'll happen, then just let me know and we can rectify. So with that, thanks so much, Pete and everybody. And yeah, thank you, Tennis House. You do the same. You give unbelievable value as well. Thank you, Willard. Peace and blessings to you as well. Tom, bye to you as well. And thank you so much for all of your participation as well. It's always so great to see you. And thanks for the pictures as well. So yes, thank you, Pete. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next time. All the best to you, and be well and keep improving your tennis game. See you again soon.
All right, guys. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.